Let me play some. I think you said this is a fantastic part to play from RJ interview.
I believe so. RJ kind of here responses to Ben Burgis's claims, which I believe I did a semi fair enough job of summarizing. And yeah, Ben Burgis, I feel like all he really criticizes explicitly is forced to vote, but then that leads his everything else that comes from
He,
that. He uses
yeah,
that to then
he
undermine
also,
the whole thing.
and then I think RJ says something that perhaps we should take to heart as well, that it's not the best way to build coalitions by calling each other what I always do, which is stupid, but other people usually call each other sellouts. I still say stupid is better than a sellout. I genuinely do think that, but I would say like I'm generally not interested in building coalitions. These that's not a standard I hold myself up to, but these people at least claim to be. So RJ says that if you want to have a constructive discussion, wouldn't it better to like not call each other? Basically, RJ is like giving us like it's like we are 5-year-olds, like not we specifically, but everybody think like guys, maybe you shouldn't call each other bad names when you play, okay? Just be a bit more civil, okay? And then he kind of I think agrees there that yeah, perhaps it would have been. So there is a bit of that. And he does say that he thinks a lot of people were using it as a way to say like I'm left or whatever and you're
100%.
not. And I agree with that too. Sure, okay, whatever.
So yeah, maybe let's see what just RJ says here for like a little bit. Not long, I guess. I think it's a good moment. If it's not, my bad.
First of all, that last point, a couple of these points kind of focus more or less on one personality, and that's Jimmy. And
I enjoy Gray very much too.
Okay, but let me go through your points one by one. First of all, just you mentioned it as an aside. I'll respond. I think it would have been a massive mistake not to vote for Pelosi at all. I think it's not a good idea because then you.
Yeah, you see here, he's saying it wouldn't be a good idea not to vote to Pelosi at all. And I think he's saying that because in response to Ben Burgis saying, like, yeah, if out of principle, I would support somebody not voting for Pelosi.
Yeah,
but not if you have a strategy. So he's like, no, don't just randomly do stuff. I don't think that's a good idea.
I fucking forgot about that. Yeah, he keeps
so
his eye on the money. It's not about me having my personal self-growth of keeping my fucking principles. Me, like as a job in Congress, how should I achieve my goals? Yeah, you're so, oh my God.
It's like, yeah, no, don't put poop in her closet just because, in her No, I'm not saying to just like,
we want Medicare for all. We don't want just to
I swear, no. Ben Burgis like, I'm all for, throwing toilet paper in her office and, doing that. And, like, no, he's like, okay, no pranks.
Why don't you leave some dog shit?
I swear. Yeah.
Well, why do you force the vote? Leave some dog shit and then ring the bell.
I'm for. So I believe that's what RJ is countering here.
Yeah, that was I completely missed that.
Have absolutely traded away whatever minimal leverage you may have as a member of her caucus in return for nothing. So I would not, as some statement that no.
Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Shouldn't pause it. My bad. I said principle.
Oh.
Will not get any traction anywhere. So I don't support that. Secondly, I don't agree with your interpretation that the presidential primaries were dominated by Medicare for all. And I'll tell you why. Because while there was always debate about it in each of the candidate gatherings, there was always some time spent on it. It was always a proxy for the question of which of these people is most electable. Joe Biden's victory in those primaries had, I would argue, zero to do with his opposition, or very.
I completely agree with that.
By the way, did you see, like, this is how you see, like, I think in debates, this is like my personal fucking analysis. Like there's no documented evidence for any of this. But I would say that, like you see, even Ben Burgis, who usually takes the "I'm above it all" approach in debates, is here. He, especially in this bit, you'll see that he has to interject a lot, and he's trying to win on a technicality.
Yeah.
And no. I didn't say Medicare for all. Like I meant among the policies that exist, that Medicare for all was the biggest. I didn't mean to say it was more important than electability. This is like it's so it was quite interesting debate.
So I wouldn't say that we just went through a primary process where Medicare for all was repudiated. I would say we went through a primary process where in 20 states, a majority of voters in 20 individual states indicated that they, Democratic primary voters, indicated that they supported Medicare for all. So I think Medicare for all.
Sure. Oh, finish. Okay.
Yeah, I guess, So, I mean, but you know, one thing though, and I don't even know what this says about, I mean, no, it just says because it's disingenuous, but Medicare for all and healthcare, it is true that during the election period, it's talked about a lot and a lot more, and it's debated during the primaries and everything. So it is, so that doesn't support Ben Burgis's argument really, but it's just so funny. Like anytime there's like, you know, the presidential election, Medicare for all is all talked about and all that so much. It is probably the one of the bigger policies that's talked about for sure in healthcare. And then as soon as the elections are over, it's usually the one that's talked about the least. So it's really, you know, it comes out for the election period, really.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I agree with that. What I did wanted to point out though is that I think there is still this. Did you see the part? I showed you the Matt Stoller video that Ben Burgis shows from the back in the days, from Matt Stoller debates Jimmy Dore about AOC and stuff. And in this video, he mentions that I showed a video on my channel in which anybody who suggested anything else but forced the vote on Medicare for all was mocked relentlessly. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. No, I don't think so. But
so his argument is that it was 90%, 99.9% was forced to vote for Medicare for all, and people who suggested otherwise were mocked relentlessly. Then he plays a Matt Stoller clip with Jimmy Dore, Katie Albert, and some other person, in which Matt Stoller said, I've been told by AOC's people that they are negotiating. They are in talks behind the doors. And then Jimmy Dore, in his abrasive manner, says that, oh, you shut the fuck up, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. They're lying. But that's the thing, man. I think he's completely misrepresenting that fact. Secret talks that there is no evidence for. Like Matt Gaetz, when he was doing his forced to vote, or, you know, or whatever, like, why are these talks so secret?
No, man,
like,
the secret talks was bullshit. And that was actually RJ Eskow makes a good point about that.
Pay-go, that's where I wanted to go. That they claim that they got pay-go. And then RJ Eskow makes the point that it was always gonna go with a, you know, Democratic president and Congress, which had to pass goddamn like infrastructure bill in the middle of the pandemic. So,
no, RJ Eskow also makes the point that this just like demonstrates so much how much AOC and that crew, they're not like quote unquote leftist or in that sense, because just by the fact that they like prefer and use that as an excuse that they're, you know, negotiating in private, you know, he's like, that's such a much more liberal Democrat kind of strategy. Whereas if you're like a leftist or a Marxist, usually you would claim, no, this has to happen publicly. People must know about it. It has to be transparent.
Or to be honest, I don't think it's a. I mean, I really don't want to identify as a leftist, and I'd rather identify as a cat right now. But so I'm just saying, anybody who's serious about like.
Everything has its place, of course.
Secret knowledge, secret negotiations, they usually don't exist.
But you see, that's Ben Burgis's thing. That's his narrative, and that's the way he's like, no, I've forced the vote. Sorry, like, you know, the whole strategy might have been good with some other stuff, but no, it was all about Medicare, and therefore that is that, and that's his interpretation, I guess. But and I think he uses that to then undermine the whole thing fully, and Yeah, because also it's
No.
such a personal thing and other reasons, and that phone call.
That phone
I
call, we
think
don't
he
know.
also got the
Yeah,
phone
do you
call
think
then.
he got a
No, but
phone
hold
call
on,
from
in the
Brandon
phone
Shaw?
call conspiracy. Did Ben Burgis also get a phone call?
Yeah, from Brandon Schwab called him. Yeah, we know where you live.
Brendan Schaub, you're just creating your own
No,
person
it's
now.
all Brandon Schwab and Brian Callen's thing now is they call people and they threaten them over things.